Hello Striders, it's CreepEvee and I am back. I decided to take last week off. All sorts of things happened last week and I was a little bit drained with everything going on. I know that this sounds a little bit dumb because, I don't exactly make masterpieces here for you guys, but I definitely know when I'm in the mood to make videos and when I'm not. And I don't like to make videos when I'm not in the mood because I want things to be as nice as I possibly can make them for you guys. So I decided to take that week off, and I think that was good for me. My head's a lot more clear now. So I was thinking about what deck we needed to play this week. As you guys can see, we are playing Infect. I decided to play Infect over a couple of other decks that I had in mind because, as we all know, the timer is my sworn enemy, and this is a deck that very much tries to overcome that weakness for me. So the way Pauper Infect works is very similar to Infect in any other format that you've seen it in. Because most of the cards are commons, right? Your Glistener Elf is common. Your Blighted Agent is common. That's really what you play. It's just the cards that surround it are a little bit different. But a lot of them are still pretty similar. I mean, your Mutagenic Growth is a common. Your Rancors are commons. So you are losing out on a few of the cantrips that you can play to kind of accelerate your damage. And you're missing out on your... oh, what is the name of that land that boosts 1/1s up? But otherwise, I mean, you're still playing pretty much the same deck. It's just you're more reliant on the Exalt mechanic, since you don't really have as much access to pump spells as you did before. But the Exalt mechanic in Pauper really works well because it's pretty consistent, and I think you guys will see that once we get started, hopefully at least. But let's just run down the deck really quickly. First off, we'll go over our Infect creatures. If you've played Infect or played against Infect in any format, then you've seen these guys. Glistener Elf, just a 1/1 drop with Infect. A Blighted Agent, a 2-drop, 1/1 with Infect, and it cannot be blocked. I guess I should go over Infect. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what Infect does, whenever it deals damage to a player, they get a poison counter, and if you get 10 poison counters, you lose the game. It does not matter what life you're at. Also, they deal damage in the form of that, so they don't actually affect your opponent's life total whenever they attack. Also, whenever they deal damage to creatures, instead of actually dealing straight damage to them, they deal that damage in negative 1/1 counters. So you have the poison mechanic, which works similarly, but it doesn't matter what the power of the creature is. It's just swinging with it will deal 1 poison counter. Whereas with Infect, you can pump them up, and if you pump them up to a 5 power, then you're going to deal 5 poison. Well, 5 Infect. So that's the way Infect works and why it's vastly superior to poison. Also, our other Infector is Ironclaw Mirror. It has Infect. It's a 1/1 for 2 colorless, and whenever it becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2. So pretty good for killing off creatures, even though that's not exactly what we want to do. But it's card with Infect, and it's cheap to cast, and it is a common, so it is in here. Next, we'll go over our Exalt creatures because they're going to be the driving force behind our damage. So many of these cards I ended up having 2 foil and 2 non-foil. Don't know how that happened, but anyway. 4 of the Akrasan Squires. I think that's how you pronounce that. Just a 1-drop with Exalt. I'll go over Exalt, I guess. Lots of fun keywords here. Exalt, whenever a creature attacks by itself, then it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So that includes itself. And they do stack, so if you add 4 of these out and something attacks by itself, it's going to get +4, which is important for our Infect creatures. Make sure they deal more damage. So that is the concept behind this build. Next we have our Aven Squire. It's 2-drop with flying and exalt, so it works out pretty nice. This is a creature that you can also use to try to wear down your opponent as far as life total if the infect plan does not work out. One thing that you have advantage of in this format is you don't have any cards that say that you don't die to poison counters. Some people side them in Modern. I'm trying to remember the name of her off the top of my head. But you don't have to worry about that in Pauper, which is kind of nice. 3 attacks in Probe. I decided to cut 1 down just because it was kind of a little bit too much and I was just burning through my life total too much. But it is kind of like, it was standard in pretty much any format in Infect decks, and it did get banned in Modern, which slowed the deck down a little bit, but not too bad. But it definitely is something that you want to include. Just helps you accelerate, which this deck wants to go very fast. Distortion Strike. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, cannot be blocked this turn, and it has rebound, so perfectly matches up with this deck. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be going over the Exalt creatures first. Well, either case, Knight, just another one with Exalt for 2 blue and white, and then CreepEvee Pride Mage, also a white and green, but it is a 2/2, and it also has the added effect of you pay 1, sack it, and destroy target artifact or enchantment. So a lot of value here for him. And our pump spells, of course, Mutagenic Growth, +2/+2, and Rancor, giving them +2/+0 as an enchantment. And then our land base, pretty simple. 2 Evolving Wilds, 6 Plains, 5 Islands, and 6 Forests. It's been working out pretty well for me. And then Holdout Settlement. And this card is great because, think about it like this. You're only attacking with 1 creature because that's how you're triggering your Exalt. So your other guys with Exalt are just sitting around doing nothing. Whereas you can tap them with Holdout Settlement, and then you get a mana of any color. So Holdout Settlement works out really well. Just 2 of them, because sometimes you don't have your creatures out, which can kind of be a bummer. But when you do, Holdout Settlement just synergizes with this deck really well. So I definitely like it in it. So then we'll jump over to the side deck. Pretty straightforward stuff. 2 Fogs, just for those other aggro formats. Well, not formats. Aggro decks. 3 negates. Just because it's negate, you want negates. And then 2 Hydro Blasts for those red matchups. Hard to go wrong with Hydro Blast if you're playing blue. If you're not playing blue, you might be wrong to go with Hydro Blast, but if you are, probably go with it. Disenchant just as quick artifact and enchantment removal if you don't want to use your CreepEvee Pride Mages. Journey to Nowhere, just pretty standard stuff if you're playing against creature heavy decks. And then Rootborn Defense gives you indestructible and creates a token that's a copy of a creature token. Not going to be relevant, but the creatures you control gain indestructible. That's going to be very important for decks with a lot of kill spells. But that's everything. It's a deck that a lot of people hate. I won't deny that. A lot of people hate playing against this deck, and I hate playing against it, but I've really enjoyed testing it. I think Pauper is a fun format to play it in, so without further ado, let's jump over and see how it goes in the games. Okay guys, we're going first. Our opponent is I Just Ate Nate. Well, I hope Nate's okay. I'm going to take a chance on love with this hand. Because I really like the land base, and we do have 2 of our best Exalt creatures. So we'll see. We'll see. This is kind of a risk because generally you want to open up with an Infect creature, but I think we can still pull something off with this hand. Windscarred Crag. Curious to see where this goes. Could be Kadoltha Boros. Let's crack this and grab an island. And we can go ahead and get our Ethercast Knight into play. And see what we can pull off with him. I have a feeling I'm going to regret keeping this hand, but we'll see. Hopefully we can draw into an infect creature. Anything I've learned in doing these videos, whenever you see a hand that has all of your mana in it, you keep it. So CreepEvee Pride Mage is going to be pretty important in this matchup because chances are we are going to have to deal with some very annoying artifacts. But we can go ahead and hit for 3 here, which is not bad. Our opponent drops the Thraben Inspector, which definitely leads me to believe that this is Boros. I will go ahead and keep our mana open. No reason to play anything for blue, but we'll keep our mana open for in case we have to pop CreepEvee Pride Mage at instant speed. For instance, if they try to bolt it, we can just pop it and pop whatever they have out. Okay, so Seeker of the Way. So this may not be Boros. This could be like a prowess deck. Drops the Windscarred Crag, making it very hard for me to accumulate damage here. Alright, well, another one of our creatures. Let's drop him down. And drop the Rancor on our Ethercast Knight. The way that I'm looking at this is we may have to win without an infect creature if we don't hurry up and draw one. So I am kind of taking a little bit of a risk putting the Rancor onto our Ethercast Knight, but it does have the ability to where it brings it back to my hand if something happens to it. So I don't think it's a terrible move. I mean, the fact that we're getting this much damage in, it's hard to argue with. But if we do draw an infect creature, we do already have three guys on board to deal with that problem. As far as pumping them up with Exalt. Wonder what we will be targeting with that. Probably the Ethercast. Gains lifelink, right? Okay. So that thing's going to be annoying. That problem really is negated by getting our infect creatures out. I'm assuming that Journey to Nowhere is going to target the Ethercast. But in all honesty, I'd rather it do that than hit an infect creature. Granted, I can pop it with CreepEvee Pride Mage, which is one of the advantages of it. So Rancor triggers getting it back to my hand. So it worked out alright, I suppose. Does put us down one of our infect, well, not our infect creatures, but our Exalt creatures, which is slightly frustrating. We're going to have to let this go through, I think. Very unfortunate, but I do believe that it is the case. Well, a Gitaxian Probe. Hate to pay 2 life in the current situation that we're in, but... So, 2 Core Skyfishers, a Battle Screech, Palace Sentinels, and a Prophetic Prism. So, lots of good things. Well, there is our infect creature that we have been searching for. So desperately. Anything from our opponent? Don't think he has counter spells, considering that we just looked at his hand. So we'll play our Holdout Settlement, and let's tap a creature to add green. So you see just how well the Holdout Settlement works here. So let's attack with the Pride Mate. Gonna put himself up to a 4/4. So the goal right now is to win by Infect, because that lifelink is going to become a problem. And I guess we pass here. Keep Pride Mate open, considering that we may have to just pop, like, because he can bounce back the Journey to Nowhere with the Skyfisher and then try to play it again, which could be a problem, because he could target Glistener Elf, but of course we can just pop it with the Pride Mate. Does get a draw off of the Prism, which is slightly annoying, because he could draw into a land, which would give his hand a chance to improve a lot, but looks like he's going to fall short there. Not going to block with our elf. Don't really want to lose it. Thraben Inspector for 1. Thraben Inspector is so good. Like, it was great in Standard, but what it does for you in Pauper is absolutely fantastic. So, I guess we'll play the island. Could play this turn. I think we should, because it has rebound. He is tapped down, so we just need to make sure that the Thraben Inspectors don't get in the way. Even though we have Trample, so we're still going to deal a good amount of damage. But with Rebound, I feel pretty comfortable just casting it now. Fortunately, we are at 0 mana. Well, I mean 0 cards in hand. We have quite a good deal of mana. So we're going to get up to 6 damage. Unblockable with him being tapped down. Feel pretty good about that. And you see, just now that we've drawn into 1 Infect creature, it gets going so fast. We've already put him down. We'll put him up to 6 poison. Ichor Wellspring. I've been thinking about doing a Seeker of the Way deck for the channel, just because he's such a fun card to build around. Prowess is one of my favorite mechanics in the game, and him getting lifelink is also fun because I always like playing lifelink. Life gain, any type of life gain I enjoy. What will we see next? Maybe just an attack with the Seeker, but I don't know whether that does anything for him. I mean, he should, but I don't know whether he would just want to keep it as a blocker, honestly, but he knows that we're going to rebound. So really no reason to hold back. I am going to let him go ahead and get in with that. Certainly do not want to lose one of our Exalt creatures at this point. We are too close to getting the win to jeopardize that. So rebound. Yes, we do want to cast it. Targeting our elf. We still have to pay for it, right? No, we don't. Okay. Can never remember exactly how rebound works. Alright, so we'll go to sideboarding. We're going to be able to do 6 damage there easily, just like we did last turn. He only has 1 mana open. I assume that that is not the lightning bolt that he needs. So, we haven't seen a lightning bolt yet. I like the disenchants here. I mean, they definitely have a good matchup, but the Kozili Pride Mage can remove the Journey to Nowheres, but it's basically just a 1-for-1, whereas Disenchant's going to do a lot more for us. Hydroblast is tempting, but generally is going to be casting white spells. The negates don't do a tremendous amount. They counter the artifacts, but other than that, they're a very dead card against him because most of what he casts is going to be creatures. I think we just want to bring in the disenchants, so maybe go down a Pride Mage and go down a Probe, considering I don't know whether he has a lot of burn or not. Let's try it like that. Alright, this is a little bit tricky. I like it though. Let's try it. We don't have a whole lot of Exalt, and that's the problem, but we do have 2 of our very best, what do you call them? Infect creatures. That's the word I was looking for. Let's just go ahead and go straight for the Probe. Sacrifice an artifact, deals 1 damage to creature without flying. Glint Hawk, Rally the Peasants, and Seeker of the Way. Alright. I really wish that that went into the revealed card zone. It'd be pretty convenient. Well, now this can get us a white mana, which is going to help us out a lot. And suddenly this hand is looking even better. The Seeker of the Way is going to be a little bit of a pain to deal with, but I believe in us. And we're getting a Plains. And we'll pass on to our turn. Ethercast, very nice. Let's go ahead and drop down our... I guess Blighted Agent is the best one to go with for right now. We'll pass. We don't have the advantage of Ironclaw doing enough to kill that Seeker of the Way. See, the great thing about the Infect creatures is if you're forced to block with them, they do long-term damage in the form of the whatchamacallit. Where are my words? In the form of the -1/-1 counters. So they do have long-term effects. A lot of creatures in Pauper are 1 toughness, so you get a lot of advantage there. Guess we go boom. What do we do here? Do we go with the Haven Squire or the Ethercast? I guess Ethercast is probably more consistent. We do want to get the Aben Squire out relatively soon, considering that he's going to have the Glint Hawk, but I'm not super worried about the Glint Hawk for right now. I don't think I want a Distortion Strike yet. I think I want to save that for whenever I'm in a position to do more damage. So I think we're just going to let that go. Get him for 2 poison, unblockable. We are in a position where the Krark Clan Shaman is going to be very much a problem for us that I was not expecting. I have not seen that card in a while. There's no reason that you shouldn't play it though. I mean, it's a fantastic card. If nothing else, like even if it doesn't kill your opponent's creature, it does give you the opportunity to sack off one of your artifacts like an Ichor Wellspring, so you get the draw off of it. Glint Hawk is just a bird. I was making sure it wasn't an artifact creature that I could pop with Disenchant. But I don't know whether I want to go after artifacts with Disenchant or not, considering that I really want to save it for the Journey to Nowheres. So can I block this thing? Problem is, he can play something at instant speed and then kill the Ethercast. So I don't want to block with it. Now, in a normal situation, I like the idea of Disenchant, pop a land, because obviously land destruction pretty darn good, especially in Pauper. But that thing is just going to sack it at instant speed, right? And it doesn't say that it can be during either turn, right? So we have to keep that in mind. Holdout Settlement. I wish this provided more than a -1/-1. I mean, I don't know where I was going with that. A +1 and then a 0, because we really need to deal with that Shaman. Let's go for let's just try and get the Blighted Agent with a Rancor. And I get the strong feeling that he's going to want to pop it. Yeah. As expected, not a huge surprise there. So Rancor is going to come back. Oh, wait a minute though, because it didn't hit the board. That's right. That's unfortunate. But we can now fairly safely cast this Ironclaw Mirror. We just needed to get that off of the board. So now, hopefully he does not have another one of those, and we can let our Ironclaw do its thing. Even had I remembered that Rancor wouldn't come back to us, I think I still would have made the same play. It just seems solid. Like, there's baiting him to use out the Shaman is pretty important. Unfortunately, we are now going to lose our Ironclaw Mirror. It's a bit of a bummer, but life goes on. Problem is, life has gone on and we are at 7. Our life has gone on and away. Really nothing for us to do here except to play this Aven Squire. Don't even want to attack with the Ethercast, considering that that leaves me with no blocker except for the Aven Squire. At least we have a blocker for those Glint Hawks, because those things are doing crazy amounts of damage to us right now. I'm glad to see that Seeker of the Way is kind of becoming more popular recently. I don't know exactly why, but it wasn't super relevant for a while. But I definitely think that it deserves to be a little bit more used. I don't think I want to block any of the Glint Hawks this round. What I am going to do is go ahead and get rid of that Ancient Den. I am just about tired of its shenanigans. And by shenanigans, I mean just being a land. Yep, even being a land is a little bit frustrating in this game right now. But we are going to have to scoop it up here, and nothing in our future for us there. What did we have coming? A Blighted Agent. That would have been pretty nice. Coming a little bit too late. And by a little bit, I mean way too late. So Rootborn Defense seems pretty good. I don't know what else is good here. Journey to Nowhere is tempting. Maybe two of them. I don't want to go all out on them. So let's go down an Ethercast. Go down another Probe, because it's such an aggressive deck. Let's just go down both Probes, because we're going to end up taking a lot of damage here. What are we going to take out for you? I don't want to take out anything. I don't know, let's just try it with the one Journey to Nowhere. Maybe we'll draw it. If we draw it at just the right time, then we know it was meant to be. Yes, we're going to play first. And that's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's hope it goes well for us. We can crack that for blue. And then we have Blighted Agent ready to go. Not bad. Not bad at all. And an Exalt creature in hand that we can get onto board. We have another of our wonderful Infect creatures. I'm happy with this hand. Does not have the Journey to Nowhere in it though. That's disappointing. Maybe we won't need it. It'll be fun if we draw it though, for sure. So we've just got all the Infect creatures coming to us right now. But to use mana efficiently, we are going to cast the Blighted Agent. But next turn we can get an Aven Squire and a Glistener Elf into play. But I honestly don't know whether I want to do that. Because kill spells are a thing. And if he wanted to use that shaman, then he wipes my board. And honestly, having multiple infects out doesn't really help if you are going for the lovely, oh, words escape me. Exalt plan, there's the word. Let's play down our Aven Squire. And see if we can get in for 2. And Electrickery. Well, nothing I can do about that. Is unfortunate though. Now I wish that I would have kept the green open instead, that way I could have cast the Glistener Elf. But I think it was the right call to leave the blue open to bluff a counterspell. At least that's what I'll tell myself, is that it was a good idea. There's the Journey to Nowhere. Let's see whether we'll actually need it. I guess mana efficiently would be tapping that and tapping you to play Ironclaw Mirror and pass the turn. Let's see whether he drops something for us to Journey to Nowhere. Oh my gosh. So glad we drew it. It's entertaining. There's the Glint Hawk. Don't know whether that's worth dropping our very valuable Journey to Nowhere on. Looks like we are going to see that Ichor Wellspring again, though. Boros is such a fun deck. I really want to play it on the channel at some point, if that's something you guys want to see. But right now, I want to see this Aethercast Knight hit the board. Don't think we need to Journey to Nowhere quite yet. Let's see how much we can get in for here. Hopefully 2. I mean, I'd like it to be more, but I think that's what we're going to be limited to. Well, that one's gone, but still have our Glistener Elf. So all hope is not lost yet. We will push the offensive and Journey to Nowhere with our one sideboarded Journey to Nowhere. I don't think that that is quite the sideboard card that I need right now, though. Prophetic Prism gets him another draw. This deck is so efficient. There goes another one of our infect creatures, so we're getting a little short on them now. Gonna need to run into some. Just drop an Aethercast Knight. So now double Aethercast Knight action here. And we'll always yield to that. Save ourselves some time. So swinging in with a 3/5, not bad. Could be a lot better, but not bad. But yeah, Boros is one of the most efficient decks in Pauper. Like, you never have an empty hand with it. It just keeps itself going so well. Every card benefits another card very well. Like, you're never running out of stuff. Example, Core Skyfisher now going to bounce whatever it wants to, which will most likely be either the Ichor Wellspring or the Prophetic Prism goes for the Ichor Wellspring. And we're probably going to see it again this turn. I bet this is it. No standard bearer. So that is now going to reduce the effectiveness of our journey to nowhere. We can't take out the Glint Hawk. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. So we're not going to be, well, I mean, I guess he could let us journey to nowhere, the Glint Hawk, but even without the standard bearer, I don't think I would. If anything, I'd get the Core Skyfisher. Just because he makes me the most angry. Oh, let's get in with Ethercast Knight. At least he is not drawn into his Forgotten Way. I think that's the answer. Well, the answer. The name of it. Because that could actually be a pretty big problem for us right now. Kind of just want to try the journey to nowhere and see how it goes. Either way it goes, it is reducing the amount of creatures my opponent has. So, let us target the Skyfisher and see how this goes. Get the strong feeling that we're going to see standard bear. Oh, no. I guess he has some things that he's more worried about with the standard bear. What did he play there? Oh, Cycle the Secluded Step. Oh no, there's Seeker of the Way. I don't know why I was thinking Forgotten Way. Alright, things are looking rough for us. The first game went so well, though. Very well. There's our Rootborn defense, which is honestly kind of helpful quite a few turns ago. Oh man, showing up a little bit too late to the party there. Well, let's just keep beating our head against the wall and deal 3. Only for our opponent to turn around and deal quite a bit more and gain a lot more life. As long as he casts one spell for turn and swings with the Seeker of the Way, he is still matching the amount of life that we're gaining. Well, I mean that we're dealing. Guess we'll hold open for Rootborn defense. Man, if we could have drawn this earlier. I have to say, I believe we're out of this game, guys. Won't discourage ourselves too much just yet, but it's a little bit rough for us right now. Galvanic Blast. Well, I have just the ticket for you, sir. What say ye to that? Hopefully that stops it, because if we lose that, then we don't have anything. Oh no. Lightning Bolt or something? Oh no, another Galvanic Blast. At least that's 2 of them that he can't use on us right now. But that leaves Secret of the Way at 4. And that's also a lot of damage. We're going to go to 6 if I can count properly. But of course he does have pump spells. Is this the kill? Yes, Rally the Peasants. So that is going to be it for us. Let's see just how much damage he does. A whole bunch of it, that is what it'll be. Yep, -3. So good game to you. I just ate an 8. See, when would we get to anything that would make a difference here? Wow. Would have taken a while. Well, let's go and take a look at the deck one more time before we call it an episode. I really like this deck. It's just, it's got so many vulnerabilities. You have to win very early or else you're going to lose. And the fact of the matter is that this is a format that is absolutely filled with lightning bolts. So I'm thinking that when we revisit this deck, I'm gonna start maining some protection spells because I'm realizing just how vulnerable this deck is, and maybe even going up on our infect creatures because we're gonna lose them so quickly. But we will come back when I make those changes. But I do like this deck, and I encourage you guys to try it out. It is very cheap. Like, it's one of the most, one of the cheapest decks that I've made on the channel, if I remember correctly. I think this one was the super cheap one. I built a couple last night. This one, I believe, is the super cheap one. So I recommend it. And I mean, it's a fun deck. People will not like you sometimes, but it is a fun deck if you like very aggressive strategies. I also like playing Bant sometimes, so it's fun to see it come to fruition. But Exalt is a fun mechanic to mess around with. I'm kind of curious as to how I could go about just doing Exalt without Infect. I think it would be vastly worse, but might be fun to try out. But we're definitely going to revisit this deck. I don't know in what episode. Like I said, things have been so nuts the past week and a half. So I appreciate you guys' patience. Also, I wanted to ask you guys, and please let me know in the comments, what format are you guys most interested in seeing? Because I know that the structure of the channel changing a lot now that Dan is back making videos. I know that I had talked about doing commander videos with the new commander sets, but I decided to hold back on that, considering that it seems like the Pauper videos that I do much better than the commander videos. But I like doing commander, and it's something that we don't have a lot of on the channel. So I'd like to be kind of the guy that brings that to the table, but also I want to make the videos that you guys want to see. So please let me know down in the comments what you would prefer to see. And I can definitely do like I had been doing, just kind of alternating between the two. So let me know what you guys think. I definitely want to do something with the Dragon Commander set, since that is the one that you guys voted for way back when. So let me know down in the comments below, and let me know what you think of this deck and what changes you would make. And if you decide to try it out, come back to the video and leave a comment letting me know how it went for you and whether you liked it. But with that all out of the way, you can tell I haven't done videos in a while, getting my words mixed up. But with all of that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, there is a button down below for that. Make sure you click that one. It shows your support for the channel, and we really do appreciate it. And if you really want to show your support, you can subscribe, and that way you can see all of our videos that we make here from all the wonderful creators here on Magic Gathering Strat. That way you don't miss any of them. And if you like what I do and you want to see more of my expertise and talents, my Facebook page will be in the description. That's where I upload videos anytime that I post here, as well as the videos that I make for my own channel. As well as my own channel will be linked in the description. That way you can go straight to it. do a lot of fun things there. We are in the middle of our Spider-Man 2000 Let's Play that a friend of mine and I did, so we'll be seeing more videos of that this week. But I will see you guys in the next episode.